Lately, there has been a lot of, like we say in the street, blowing up the spot with this Department of Justice releasing these files that got the whole world talking about them, and Nicki Minaj blowing up the spot talking about the Grammys is a satanic ritual, blaming JC of doing some devil worshiping, and she talking about sacrificing children and stuff like that. And I've been talking about these subjects on my Spanish channel, and it's not getting that much traction. And at least two of them were not deemed suitable for advertisers. And I was like, okay, so who's controlling the narrative here? Is it YouTube? Or is it the advertisers that tell them, we don't want you putting our product on such and such videos? If they talk about Epstein, if they talk about any of the top dogs that are, mentioned on these files that the Department of Justice released. And I decided to not even keep bothering, because I'm not a news reporter. I'm just a podcaster. I just react to the news. I got my little studio down here, and this is what I do for a hobby. But I came across a clip from Salt. Remember Salt-N-Peppa? If you're from back in my days, Salt-N-Peppa was like one of the top female groups back in the days, until Salt decided to give her life to Jesus. And they got together back, I don't know how many years ago. They did a little something together, her and Salt-N-Peppa. But I don't know what became of that. But I did get to see her on TBN, which is a Trinity Broadcasting Network. It's like Christian TV, something like that. I did get to see her there sharing the gospel and stuff like that. But now that Nicki came out and said that, after Trevor Noah, I think is his name, made fun of Nicki, that she wasn't at the Grammys, that she was probably with Donald Trump taking care of some serious business. And Nicki came back with some accusations that, make you think, like, if she's telling the truth, then we're all in a shithole. And, sometimes you ask yourself, is JC gonna answer? Rock Nation gonna answer? Are they gonna do like they did with when Jaguar Wright was on, what's this guy's name? Piers Morgan. Remember, Jaguar Wright was there, so was Black TV, and that lawyer that was representing some of the people that put lawsuits on Diddy. And they asked Piers Morgan, listen, you need to cut that part out of the interview, or we're going to sue you. We're going to sue you. We're going to sue Fox News. We're going to sue Rupert Murdoch, I think is his name. And they took it out. But Jaguar Wright keeps talking, all this crazy. She be saying that JC worse than Diddy. But then again, you don't even know if it's an accusation. You don't even know if it's just creating content, for that algorithm to to boost up to make that dollar? You don't even know, because it's her saying that. You got Gene Deal saying shit like that. Now you got that other guy, brother, I forgot his name, coming out saying Will Smith is doing some crazy shit. Jada Pinkett Smith is doing some crazy shit. So you don't even know what the hell is going on this platform. But you see it, and I hear it, and I react to it in Spanish. But lately, that I've been talking about this, like, both of my channels have, like, died. And two of them got not suitable for all advertisers. So I said, I'm not going to talk about that no more. But then I seen this. Check this out. I seen this from, I follow this guy on one of my ex accounts. Dom Lucre, I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. Dom Lucre. He be posting some crazy shit, but I follow him. And I just came across this, like, right now. Today, by the way, is Independence Day, the Dominican Republic. Today is like our 4th of July, February 27th. And he says in this post, Salt, from the iconic rap group Salt-N-Peppa, claims that occult Satanists who are performing rituals are currently in control of the government and music industry. So it took me back to what Nicki Minaj was saying on Grammy night. And I said, let me take a look at this. So let's look at this together. And I'm going to hear together with you. You let me know if you get to see this channel. By the way, I had it monetized, but I wanted to turn it into English reaction channel. My English is not that great. I'm Dominican. I learned English, when I was a kid, a teen, and I'm an old man now. But I still can, talk a little bit. And I erased all my Spanish videos. And I lost all my hours. And I left it alone. But now I decided, let's keep reacting. Let's keep doing this. So if you end up watching it by any chance and you hear what she's saying and you got something to say, let me know in the comment section. That way I can see, where we're at spiritually and where we're at believing what Salt is saying. So let's take a look at this together. So let's jump right into it.
Hey y'all, so the cat's out the bag. I've been studying this type of thing for years, but you can't really talk about it because people will think that you're crazy. So now we know Satanists and Luciferians run the world. 2 Corinthians, it describes that Satan is the god of this world. They own the government, politics, Democrats and Republicans, the court system, the education system, the banks, the Federal Reserve, real estate, farms, Hollywood, what we watch, music, what we listen to, media, what we believe, sports, big pharma, everything. We pay their taxes, we work their jobs, we buy their houses. We don't own anything really, because even if we paid for a house outright, if we miss paying taxes one time, they can take the home. We've been pitted against each other like crazy forever. Black versus white, rich versus poor, men versus women, Democrats versus Republicans, Muslims against Christians. We fight over narratives that they've created to keep us divided while they're doing whatever they want, hunting, killing, sexually assaulting, sacrificing, torturing, cannibalizing, yes, cannibalizing, and organ harvesting our children, grooming them and over-sexualizing them, teaching them inappropriate things in school. They start wars and they tell us it's this country or that country, or it's this religion, who's our enemy. And our kids go to war to defend lies. They fund both sides of the war and make billions of dollars while our family members are sacrificed. We have been bamboozled beyond our wildest dreams. Everything we've been fed is a lie. So what do? If you're like me, like, okay, we got the information, but what do? We can't impeach the president because that's up to Congress. The only power we have is our dollars, our prayers, and our voices. Some people will laugh at that, but when it comes to their God, they're on their job. They pray to their God, they worship him, they murder, assault children, make blood sacrifices. They are very dedicated to making sure their God is pleased with them. We can stop feeding the beast with our dollars. When things are exposed, we can stop giving them our money. I'm not telling you who you should buy from or where to spend your money, but I do encourage you to investigate the companies you patronize. Find out who they are, what their practices are, what their beliefs are. I know we love certain brands, but do we know their history? Who owns your bank? Is there another place that you can put your money? Because if they decide, they can close the banks whenever they want, or they can freeze our accounts if we don't comply with their narrative. They're purposely poisoning our water, air, and food. So support your local farmers if you have access. I know everyone doesn't have access. I understand that. Buy fresh, real food. Buy land if you can. Grow food if that's in your heart. Even this information we've been exposed to, I think it's designed to see what we will do. This information can make us feel helpless and depressed and even more complacent, giving them even more control to usher in their new world order, their one world government, one currency, one world dictatorship where we have no rights at all. So we can refuse digital ID, we can support smaller venues, we can spread and share information. If we can homeschool our children. Support local farmers. It's healthier, it's cleaner. Get back to eating whole foods. If you can, try and go direct to consumer. And according to Revelation, yes, we are being led to a choice, right? It talks about the mark of the beast in Revelation 13, 16 through 17. You can read it for yourself, but that's basically where this is all headed, and it's unfolding right in front of us. There'll be a time that we won't be able to buy or sell unless we take the mark. Can you imagine one world government, one religion, one currency, total dictatorship, total control? Let's do what we can. Spread information, and God bless you guys.
Whoa. If you know your Bible, you know how the Bible mentions that, we're gonna have tribulation coming. Like she says, the God of this world. I just had to, hit that play button and let you guys hear this. Because this is somebody that we haven't heard from. And I don't believe she's trying to catch, go viral with this, because she said it from the get-go. I don't talk about this because as soon as you do, they're going to think you crazy. And, what she's saying, her advices, what to do, so we don't, end up being digitalized. In the Bible, they mentioned that there's going to come a time, one world order, one dictatorship, one currency, and that you won't be able to purchase unless you have the mark of the beast. And this is something that I remember during the pandemic. I used to think, are we living the pandemic? I mean, are we living in the tribulation? Man, because we was locked up for 2 years in the house. Luckily, I had a little income where we was able to just feed our children. But I kept thinking about that. I kept thinking, is this gonna be the way the tribulation's gonna be? And you know what she's saying? That these people are running the music industry. There's a lot of channels, videos talking about the occult, especially with this Jeffrey Epstein thing and all these movies that were made that were warning signs. Eyes Wide Shut, I think is the name, with Tom Cruise. There's this channel that I react to. I have reacted to a couple of his videos that they actually talk about, the things that they're doing. I just recently saw another video. Well, I saw the thumbnail. I haven't really hit that click to watch the video where they talk about the Grove, some sort of secret society out there in California where Joseph Bloomberg and these top-notch executives belong to, some secret club that they out there in the woods. Nobody could go in there, and they got this big owl. And I've seen other people talking about some crazy that you don't even know if it's paranoia, conspiracy theory, or, are we really getting a warning? Because most of the things that are being said are not by people that actually follow Christ or are born-again Christians or read the Bible. So sometimes I just think that, they're just trying to get that click-through rate, talking about conspiracy theory and stuff like that. But if you have a little knowledge of Scripture, and you hear somebody like Salt that was into the game, that was a superstar when it was her, Peppa, Spinderella, and it was that time when they had Kid and Play. It was a good time for hip hop. But then she gave her life to Christ. Now I haven't seen her in decades. I seen and heard about her when she and Peppa did a little something. I think they went on tour or something, singing their old rap songs. But lately, I haven't heard about nothing. So when I seen this, I was like, whoa, she's talking about this. And this is not only Nikki now. And she's not talking about nobody in particular. She ain't mentioning no other artist. She ain't talking about Jay-Z. She ain't talking about Diddy. She ain't talking about Beyonce, Will Smith. She ain't talking about nobody. She's talking about something that is happening in the government, the industry, and the pharma, all these companies. And she's saying that we better keep our eyes wide open because we never know. I just wanted to play this for you and give my opinion and my thought on this, because a lot of videos and a lot of people are now talking about this, and I want to know what's your thought on this. So let me know what you think about this if you get to see this video. I know it's not going to get to a lot of people because this channel's a baby channel right now. But if you're one of the ones that does see the video, let me know what you think about this on the comments. So God bless. One love.